Alright, so good evening, Gunner Sergeant Kwan.
Good evening.
I am glad you came and talked to me about your time in the Marine Corps for my Counseling Psychology 650 project. So I wanted to start out by asking you, so how long have you been in the Marine Corps, and what drove you to join it in the beginning, and what was kind of your guiding force getting into it?
Well, I've been in the Marine Corps, it'll be 17 years in February. I joined the Marine Corps for personal reasons. I was a troubled kid in a troubled city in LA, and my principal told me when I was a junior in high school that I wasn't going to graduate my senior year. So he told me if I joined the Navy, actually, he would graduate me. So I went out with the recruiter. I didn't know what the Navy had to offer. Went next door to the Marine Corps, and didn't know much about the Marine Corps. So I kind of just talked to him, and I went back to my principal and said, hey, I'll join the Marine Corps if you graduate me. He said he didn't believe me, so bring a recruiter to see him. So I took a recruiter to see him the next day, or 2 days later, and recruiter talked to him, and they worked out some kind of deal that they let me out of high school, first semester of 12th grade, to join the military, as long as my mom agreed. And my mom, she agreed real quick. Signed papers. When I was 17, I was at boot camp a day after first semester. So it's kind of a personal reason why I joined, just to get out of LA.
Just from what my knowledge of the Marine Corps is, do you have any boot camp stories that you'd like to share? Just things that you remember?
Well, I remember in boot camp, I mean, obviously I was 17, I was the youngest one in boot camp. So I remember I was picked on all the time. A good funny story, I guess, you got how inexperienced I was as a kid. I wasn't shaving at 17 years old. I had no hair on my face. And first day of boot camp, they teach you how to shave, how to shower, everything. So they told us to go in the bathroom and shave our face, and so I go to the bathroom, take out my razor, put on my shaving cream, and start shaving my face, but nothing's happening. And I went to the drill instructor, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. He kind of gave me a weird look, took the shaving cream, took the little plastic piece off the razor, threw it down, and gave it back to me, and I walked away. So that's, I got picked on a lot for being the young kid who didn't know much. But boot camp was an experience. It was hard, 3 months. I wouldn't want to go back as a 17-year-old. But when I left, I was excited to leave. I learned a lot there. I grew up there real quick.
So do you think that since you were a troubled kid, and do you think boot camp molded you into something besides a Marine? Like it helped you grow up or something like that?
Oh, of course, yeah, it made me grow up really quick. I was responsible for my own actions. I didn't have my mom to run to. I didn't have my brothers to run to. It was all my own. I was held accountable for what I did. So yes, I grew up really quick in boot camp. It was scary, but yes, I did it.
So once you graduate boot camp, I know you go to Marine Combat Training, and then your MOS, or Military Occupational Specialty School. If you wouldn't mind, would you give us a little overview of what your MOS is, and then if you've got your most interesting duty stations, if you wouldn't mind going over those.
Well, my MOS, we call it 0111. It's an administrative clerk, or chief. I'm a chief, actually. It's much like human resources. I work with pay. I work with a lot of paperwork for the Marines out there. I've been stationed many places. I started off in San Diego, California. Went over to North Carolina. Went over to Kansas City. I've been to Germany. I've been 3 years in Germany. I spent a year and a half in Korea. So I've been traveling a lot. I've been here in Wisconsin for 3 years. So, but my favorite duty station, I would have to say, was Germany, just because of the experience I had out there. I love traveling, so I traveled a lot out there. But as for my job, I mean, I've branched out from my job a lot. I instructed Marines how to shoot pistol, rifle, and I'm also a drill instructor. I spent 3 years in San Diego as a drill instructor, which is a very demanding job. From there, I came here as an instructor for the ROTC program. So I branched out a lot from my admin job.
So if you wouldn't mind going over how you think that a training environment from ROTC and recruit training differs from, say, the fleet, and what kind of different skills and knowledge you gained through going through those 3 different stages.
Well, it differs a lot because in the fleet, you're always preparing to go to war. You're always preparing, what if war breaks out tomorrow? So it's very constant things. You're constantly doing training, so you're constantly going to the field, constantly going over here to train here, going on shift to train here. So you're always moving in this rotation. So it's a constant rotation of work. So you're coming out here to this kind of environment, as what I'm doing here at LTC, we're still training for the same purpose, but it's a lot more relaxed, I guess you say. But at the same time, it's a lot busier because we're trying to take, as yourself, we're trying to take a high school kid, college kid, and turn them into something a lot bigger. So it's a lot more work, one-on-one work, as it is in the fleet. We work as a whole unit. So it's a lot more work, actually, here at ROTC, I would say. I spend a lot more hours working.
So you've spent a lot of time in the Marine Corps, and you spent a lot of time with training people and, doing your job. What do you think your fondest memory of the Marine Corps is?
I guess my fondest, or what I enjoy the most, I spent 4 months in a country named Azerbaijan. And what I did there, I trained their foreign military how to get away from the Soviet Union type of military into our military. It was a deal we had with Azerbaijan, America had. Pretty much they let us go there, drop out supplies for Afghanistan as long as we trained them. So it was really interesting because to see foreign governments, how they work their militaries and how different they are from us. And all they want is they want to be like us, like the United States military. So it was very interesting to me, and I really enjoyed doing that. So I did that for 4 months, then I went there every couple months, like once a quarter, for about 2 years. So that would be my fondest memory.
Okay, and what do you plan on doing after you get out of the Marine Corps?
Well, I'm currently working on my master's degree in counseling. I should be done here in the next semester. I want to end up working with juvenile kids in trouble as juvenile hall or detention centers in some inner city out there, working with them, helping them out. I feel that I was helped out when I was a kid, and I want to give back to kids out there.
Okay, so everything that you're saying to me is that you've loved your time in the Marine Corps, you've had a lot of experiences. What does the Marine Corps mean as a whole, as your entire time in the Marine Corps and all your experiences? So what does it mean as a whole, coming out of it and nearing the end of your career?
Coming out of it, it really defined who I am today. I guess the military is a big part of who I am today and a big part of my life. I have 3 years left, and I'm eligible to retire, and I'll be 37 when I retire. But as a whole, it's just been an awesome experience, and I love who made me. I met my wife from it, so it's kind of hard to explain. It's just a very different experience than anyone would have out there, but it's really well worth it in my eyes.
Okay, so one last question. You said that in the beginning you said your mom agreed with you joining the military, and you said that it is really tough on your family. So what does your wife and your mom and anyone else in your family think about it now that you've been in it for so long?
Well, my mom agreed with it when I was younger. As I got older, she wanted me to get out, obviously. My sisters and my older brothers, they're not really for the military. So I get no support from them. My little brother, he's actually joined the military. He's a Lance Corporal out in 29 Palms right now. But my wife, she supports me a lot. She's also in the military. She's in the Navy, so it kind of helps me a lot continue my career while I'm helping her with her career. My kids, they also, they're too young to know exactly what I do. My daughter's 7, my son is 3. But my daughter, she knows she moves around, and she likes experiencing going out to different parts of the country. She had a blast in Germany, so I think it really depends who the family member is, how they take it. Like my sister's ain't for it, but my mom, she's for it because it's a job, but it really depends who it is. But I get support in different ways from everybody.
Okay, and lastly, if you wouldn't mind, there's people in my class who are aspiring in the military. If you wouldn't mind giving us a few tidbits of advice, just one thing that you can think of that you think would help somebody in a military career.
I would say it's going to get hard. It will be hard. You just got to stick through it. If it ain't work, it's going to be the separation from your family, or it's going to be separation from your kids. I mean, it's always going to be there, but it's in the long run, it's really well worth it. It's just you got to be strong mentally to do a career out of it. 4 years is 4 years, but doing 20 years it's a lot to put into yourself and for your family. So you just got a real strong family life and just really go into it knowing it's going to be hard.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell me about your time in the Marine Corps or anything like that?
I don't know.
No? Okay. Well, thank you for talking to me. I'm glad you could help out with my my project. And obviously I will see you in the future.
For sure. Good luck.